Happy New Year! I love New Year's resolutions! If you've got somewhere that you want to go or something you want to achieve, if you don't write it down and don't write down the steps, the things you have to do to get there, then it's pretty much 0% chance that you'll accidentally end up there. Goal setting is so important. So I thought I'd just quickly share my top 3 tips for writing great New Year's resolutions that, you'll stick to. So, tip number 1. Make your resolution specific, like super specific. We've all heard the statistic, I think, something huge, like maybe 90% of resolutions are out the window by the end of January. And personally, I think it's just because they're not done right. For me, a resolution is something that you resolve to do every day or every week or every month for a specific period of time. So it needs to be formulated in a way that it actually is an action that you can resolve to do. So an example of a very common New Year's resolution is lose weight. That's great. That's a good goal, aspiration. But to me, it's not a resolution because it doesn't tell you what to do. There's nothing you resolve to do. It doesn't help your decision making to reach that goal. If the goal is to lose weight, a better resolution might be, for example, to go to 3 Zumba classes a week. Or if you're very overweight, your resolution might be to get outside and walk for at least 10 minutes every day of the year. That's a resolution, that's a decision, that's something that will help you decide what to do, an action you can take to get you on your goal. As an example, if you're lying under the covers on a very cold, dark morning in, say, February, if your resolution was to attend 3 Zumba classes per week, you're going to morning classes, just say it's Friday and you haven't been yet, you haven't been at all during the week, then you've only got 3 days left, so you kind of have to go. You've resolved to go 3 days a week, so to keep your resolution, what you promised yourself, you have to go. If your goal is just lose weight, well, it doesn't help you decide what to do, what action to take at that specific moment to help you reach your big goal. So that's tip number 1, make them super specific. Number 2 is don't set too many resolutions, especially if your resolutions are about introducing new behaviors. If you have a big long page of them, 25 resolutions, you're just setting yourself up for failure. It's not sensible, it's not practical. You should be kind to yourself. The point of a resolution, if you're considering it the way I've just talked about, something that you resolve to do every single day to get yourself to your goal at the end of the year, then you want to make sure you can achieve them. So don't set too many resolutions. For me, I think the ideal, 1 is a perfectly acceptable number, but to me, I wouldn't go more than 3. If the example is to lose weight, you might just have 1 resolution, which is to go outside and walk 15 minutes every day. If your resolution is to learn French, if your goal is to learn French, then your resolutions might be spend 10 minutes a day on Duolingo, learning French. Plus, that's resolution number 1. Resolution number 2 might be watch 1 French movie per month. And then you might have another resolution, or you might stick it at 2. Don't set too many resolutions. Be kind to yourself. The aim isn't to have a big long list of things that you'll never do. The aim is to make it easy for yourself to achieve because you want that end goal. And the last tip, number 3, is check in regularly. So just because they're called New Year's resolutions doesn't mean you can only look at them in January. If you want to stick to your resolutions, you need to look at them regularly and re-resolve to take that action so that you're closer to your goal at the end of the year or at the end of the time period of your resolution. The aim is to make it as easy for yourself as possible, so put this check-in date in your calendar, set an appointment or set a reminder on your phone. Whatever the time period is for you, maybe it's daily, but it's probably weekly or monthly. Make it a scheduled event. It's not a big rigmarole. All you have to do is look at your resolution, which will be a list of probably 1 to 3 sentences, and re-resolve to do that. Make sure that you're doing it. You can check progress, which is hugely motivating as you can see how you go, and make sure you're doing it on a consistent basis. And I should say also, during your check-ins, if your resolution isn't taking you towards the big goal as you hoped it would, then just change the resolution. It's no big deal. It doesn't mean you failed or you haven't kept that resolution. So for example, suppose your goal is to write a book in the year. Your resolution might have been to write 100 words every day of the year. which is fine. So, you're doing that, you're writing 100 words every single day, you go for a check-in and you find that yes, you've been writing 100 words a day, but you don't really feel that it's really helping. Perhaps writing 100 words a day means that you're finding it very difficult to, remember the story arc or the narrative, or you can't get the pacing right when you're doing small chunks even if you don't feel like it every day. So maybe for you to reach your big goal, you can change your resolution. Maybe you can instead resolve to write 2 hours, 4 nights a week. Whatever it is for you. The aim is to get your big goal. It's not to sort of stubbornly stick to something that isn't really doing you any good. So when you're checking in, if you need to change your resolution, do that. Totally fine. I give you permission. You are not a failure. That still counts as keeping your resolution. So those are my 3 tips for how to write New Year's resolutions that you can stick to. Quick recap again. Number 1 was to make them specific as possible, actions that you resolve and recommit to taking on a consistent basis. Number 2, don't set too many. Don't set yourself up for failure. You want a few things that you can genuinely and seriously resolve to do, and look at yourself in 12 months' time. You'll see a noticeable difference. Small, consistent actions every day or week over time will take you a huge way. And number 3 was to check in regularly, both to re-resolve that you will be doing these things, to check your progress so far, and to make sure it's still getting you in the direction that you want to go. So those are my 3 tips. Go and check out the website. It's all about living life your way and helping you achieve the things you want to achieve and not listen to people who say that you can't.